right, welcome to episode 20 of the Slabbed Mother Effin' podcast, where the grades matter and there are no rules. How you doing this evening, Professor Oak? How you doing, man?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Please excuse my very well-stocked background there. I threw a couple
Selling
of
out,
slabs up.
selling out.
Yep, busted.
That's all you got left, right?
I'm done. Yep, I'm absolutely stone cold out of everything. Yep, no, packing up, sorting boxes. I am moving house. We are going to a little bit of a bigger place, getting the keys next week, hopefully. So hoping to get a nice new shiny setup that looks fancy like yours and less junky. So we'll get there. I've got a little bit of time to get set up and make it look nice. So we'll plan on that. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, it'll look a little bit smoother. What about you? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Let me know if you're going to have beer and pizza. I might fly down, help you move, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's usually what I'm good for until I hurt my back about a year ago. But
Okay. Yeah,
I was always the guy helping move a bunch of people's big things. So, but yeah, good luck with the move, man. Hope everything goes smooth, and look forward to seeing the next version of Professor Oak. That'll be cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that would have been pretty fantastic having you out. Beer, pizza, and Pikachu's. It would have been, it would have been fun having you out. But I'm probably gonna enlist some of those college dudes that do it and throw it in the big truck. We'll see. Got to get stuff packed up ready. But yeah, I do think I'm probably gonna try and get the setup a little bit nicer, make it look a little bit more aesthetic, I guess. Get some better lighting and stuff. We'll get there. It's gonna take a few weeks probably. A lot going on, but yeah, good stuff.
Hell yeah. So last week, spicy topics. Thanks for all of the comments and the love, people. Like literally,
yes,
great topics. Can't wait to talk about a bunch of those in the next time we go through them all. Really cool, a lot of really good takes, and cannot wait to talk about it. But my man here, Professor Oak, took the dub. If you want to start us off into that, it's been a while. I feel like, so I figured you were due to win one here. No. Feel bad. Just felt bad.
I've won a few.
I
know. Yeah. So essentially, I was saying buy CDC slabs, sell PSA. It's a win-win for everybody, right? Like, what's to lose? Someone's grading cards and paying CDC to grade them. I'm buying them. They're making their sale, and then I'm doing stuff with them, and I'm selling them as PSA slabs. It's a win-win. Like, you can't lose. Everybody wins. Everyone gets exactly what they want, and everybody gets exactly what they want in every direction. So I don't feel bad about it. I know it sounded spicy, but you really look at it and drill down what's happening, keeping the whole community alive, honestly, that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of benefits in all different directions. The only problem is, which you're aware of, is that subjectivity, where the grades can be a little bit wonky between different grading companies. So there's that. But as long as it's authenticated and it's graded by a company, as far as I'm concerned, that's the grade. It's that simple, right? Even if it's a regrade, the card doesn't have a grade, which sounds like counterintuitive, but it's the slab that's graded, right? Because you can just take it out, regrade it again, and it might get a different grade. Yeah. So it's not the card, because the card's exactly the same. It's the slab. It's the person that's grading it, and it's how they view the card and the slab that they give it. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I know you've done a few different plays. You've had your fingers in a few different pies to do with grading and cracking and stuff like that.
So I want to take your comment for what it is. It says CDC equals buy, PSA equals sell. Are you not buying PSA anymore, or what's going on there?
I haven't bought a PSA slab in a few months. I can't think of one I've bought in a while. It's been a while. I literally have only been buying CDC slabs. Yeah, I've been very disciplined, but the reason is a lot of the cards that I want and I need, they're still not at the price point where I think they're going to get. I still think there's a little bit of wiggle room to move down a bit more. I don't think it's quite go time. I think a lot of sealed product, especially a lot of the modern stuff, I think they're at pretty good prices, but I still think some of the PSA slabs are a little bit overpriced. I'm not quite there on buy-in, but when I do feel comfortable, I'll probably be buying more than I should. I like to think, though, there's also the part of it where if they are at a price where I'm comfortable, CGC and other grading companies might be an even better price for the same quality. So there might be some regrade options there. I don't know. Like, I think it's like see what happens when you get to it kind of thing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. For CGC, when you're buying, are they staying in CGC slabs or are they finding their way into PSA slabs?
I think in the past month or so, I'd say in the past couple of months, I've probably bought 20 or 30 CGC slabs, and I think I've cracked 3 or 4, maybe 10% of them. So not many, honestly. There's some of them I've flipped, some of them I'm holding, some of them I've got listed, some of them I've cracked. You know, I'm doing a few different things. I had a really nice one that I got cheap. That was a pop one with non-hire, and I flipped that and made a nice little profit that helped me pay for a couple of other things. So there's been a couple of things I've done that's helped me pay for some of the other plays that are probably going to work out into something. I'm trying to get better and smarter with what I do rather than just buying what I love and what I want. I've been trying to be a bit more disciplined and smarter with it, and it seems to be paying off. We'll see. What about you? Have you been buying any PSA slabs?
PSA, for whatever reason, is usually my go-to buy. CGC, I don't do a whole lot of buying. I'm also not, I don't know, the cards I'm looking for generally aren't in CGC slabs. I'm usually looking for like older things, not so much first edition base anymore, but older Zapdos cards, and a lot of those aren't existing in CGC 10s. The ones that are, I'm picking them off here little by little. I'm a sucker for a CGC pristine 10 or a perfect 10. So for me, they don't come up often. When I find a CGC pristine 10, 99.9% of the time, it's a modern card. But it is cool seeing vintage 10s coming up now. And a lot of them are selling for around PSA 10 price, which is really cool. Which I really do like. That CGC is able to grade these 10s now and stuff a little bit more consistently, even though it's not as frequently still as PSA is. I would really be curious though. I would love to do that analysis now, like take like 40 vintage cards that are all tenable at PSA, grade them at PSA, get the 10 rate, crack them all out, send them to CGC and see what happens. Like that would be an expensive test, but it would be really cool to see how that turned out. It'd be really cool data.
I'd imagine a bunch of 9.5s, honestly. Maybe a couple of 10s. Because for me, honestly, 9.5 is basically a PSA 10. I mean, all the ones I've seen.
Yeah, that's my issue. Like vintage 9.5s I see are not PSA 10s most of the time. Most of the time, those cards are like they got scratching. They're really, at CGC, a lot more generous on their surface areas. I don't know. Like I submitted a whole bunch of Legendary Collection reverse cards to them at one point, and they got really generous grades. A lot of surface scratches, just they can't see them. They didn't put them in the right light or something. I don't know, but I am perpetually buying PSA. I love to sell PSA. That is the number one seller, but I also sell CGC, sell SGC, sell WADA. So this comment to me is just like some guy made this damn comment to try and win a freaking vote, and it doesn't really hit home for me because I'm definitely not buying a bunch of CGC at all. So maybe video games soon. We'll see. As more get graded, that'll be nice. They're still growing and developing. I plan on like submitting all my WADA graded games to CGC here soon to get cracked and reslabbed. So that'll be cool. To kind of get the consistency in the collection and everything will be, all my video games will be CGC slab then at that point, which would be nice. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it's interesting what you're saying about, you know, buying PSA slabs. I think I've got my eyes on a few different avenues when it comes to slabs, because there's so many different things I've done with them. So first and primarily, the main thing I've done for two reasons is grade with PSA. So for the first reason is that's the cheapest way to build your collection. If you can source a raw card at a really good price, grade it $15, $20, $30, whatever it has been. That's a really good, cheaper way of doing it than buying the slab. The second way is for grading them to sell, because that's the cheapest way to buy the card. You can sell it, make maximum profit, rather than buying the slab and trying to, you know, flip it for whatever. So that's been like the primary top of the iceberg for me, top of the pyramid. Now the next one down, I always thought would be to buy PSA slabs and try and flip them or hold them or do something with them and potentially make profit. It isn't. For me, I've made way more money buying CGC slabs and either cracking them, flipping them, like doing whatever, doing stuff with them. I've made more money this year doing it with CGC slabs than I have ever done with PSA slabs. But I don't want CGC slabs for my collection, really. Like, there's a few that I want, and it's going to make me sad to sell. I sold one last week, and I kind of regretted it. I feel like I let it go a bit too cheap, but I have got a bit of a shine in for CGC cards. I'm just not 100% sold. I like the idea of having a PSA collection, the registry, and like having it all in one company and one label, one style, or like almost like conjoined, you know, like in the collection. But I'm having fun playing with CGC slabs right now. Like I really am. I've been doing a few different avenues, and it's been fun, honestly.
Yeah.
What you got there?
You remember this?
The UPC, was it UPC? The one that was in that? There was 3 in it.
Yeah,
right?
It was from your giveaway that I won.
The Charizard.
Why'd you send it to CGC?
Why did I?
Yeah. Why not PSA?
I didn't, did I? Did I send it to you raw?
Did you? Did I send it to CGC?
I think you graded it. I didn't grade it with CGC.
Really?
You must have sent it with your submission.
I am drunk off my ass right now. I don't know what's going on.
But it hit a 9.
Yeah, I never told you. Yeah, it's just thing's piece of shit. So highest bid down in the comments gets the Oak giveaway. No, I'm joking.
I mean, you can. We could both sign it for him.
That's how good American printing is, man. CGC 9, fresh out of the whatever it is.
I didn't even touch it. Straight to sleeve.
And this was one of the cleaner ones. I remember, like, everyone was like, damn, I think
it was the clean one.
I got fisted like a freaking 9, not even a 9.5. The thing is, like, there's like no whitening either.
Yeah, I thought you.
This might be going to PSA now.
I thought you'd get probably a PSA. I mean, I say that I thought you'd get a PSA 10 rate, but I know a lot of people have struggled with that getting any kind of grade. Honestly, I think 9 is like decent compared to a lot of other. I've seen a lot of like 5, 6, 7s even for those. Some pretty rough grades.
It's pretty brutal. Yeah, it's crazy.
Rushed.
But yeah,
but they printed 1 million, right? Like there's still retail stores still have them. I saw a picture of Walmart with like 8 of them the other day, and Best Buy had a pile in one of their stores. I saw in Discord. It's like they're still at retail. They're not even on market. Like it's literally at retail.
Yep.
No.
So let's hop into the spicy topic. Then I want to kind of circle back to CGC again real quick. A couple more things. But let's get into the spicy topics. But before we do that, everybody comment down below, just like you did last week. You did great. The sooner you get the comment in, the better. So if knowing the videos drop at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week, get those comments in there right away so that you get the most possible views on your comments and the most chances at upvotes to get pretty much get selected to be the topic. But like you mentioned, we will go through them probably at least once a month, maybe once every month and a half or so, because we like circling back. We don't want to skip all the freaking juice down there. So appreciate all the love and support. I'm going to go first since you won.
Okay.
And Lorcana is the next Dogecoin. It's at 7 cents. Dogecoin.
It is. God. There's some people that still made some crazy money from that. Yeah. I was going to say, for me, pre-grading isn't that hard. I think that's my spicy topic. It ain't that hard.
Damn, a swift kick to the nuts, all of us, huh?
It ain't that hard. I'm going to write it 3 times too.
Wow,
guys,
I'm glad to... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to second what Green just said there about last week's topics. Honestly, one of my favorite weeks for reading through spicy topics. It really was a fun one. So all of you guys that were leaving them, and I could see you clicking like and doing a little thumbs up on a bunch of them. Appreciate it. It was entertaining for us too. It's really enjoyable. So thanks for that. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. So go vote for my comment. Link down below. Then in the description. Just hit the little thumbs up button because I'm trying to whoop his ass this week. So
hey, we want spice, right? I brought the spice this week, bro.
Yeah. So circling back real quick to CDC, our friend Java Akuma recently just did a bulk submission return. Go check out his channel. I'm going to link it down below in the description for you to check out. But dude's pumping out some really good content, really good quality. But there was a bulk submission he did it was like less than a week return. Sent it, came back in a week.
Insane.
Is that concerning at any point? Like, should there only be less than a week's worth of work to do at the effing plant? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
to me, that's like, eek. Like, damn, a week?
At that level, that service level, I mean, that's the slowest, right? So if the slowest is at a week, that seems pretty crazy. Yeah, definitely some. I mean, I guess that's what we want, though, too, right? I feel like they're kind of giving us what we want is a fast turnaround, get those cars back. Like, it could be easy to look into and say, oh, there's problems there. There may be, but I feel like we should take it while we can. Like, because it wasn't a week long, last year, not too long ago, it definitely wasn't a week. And we all wanted them to gear up and hire up and train up. And seems like CGC have done it. I mean, I've got a regular, which I think is, I can't remember if it was 75 or 100, the regular. I think it was 75 at PSA right now. I sent it a couple of weeks ago, and it just came out of grading into assembly. So we're probably looking at 3-4 weeks. I don't know if it'd ship this week or not, and probably next week, but it's going to be not far off a month, and that's considerably more expensive than that. And then I've got a book with PSA that they've had. I sent that almost a month ago, and it hasn't even gone through research yet. They haven't even ID'd the cards. So yeah, CGC is definitely on top of them. And I know you've said the same. Customer service apparently is, outstanding in comparison. I haven't had a lot of issues with PSA. I've reached out to them a couple of times. The main reason I would have any kind of grumpy feelings is just their slowness to respond, their general lack of being able to respond and be dynamic with situations. It feels like you send an email, you're waiting for a day or 2 days or something to get anything back. It just seems a little slow. I know some people have made some comments about the phone calls, not answering the phones very quickly either. So there's that. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, just the whole picture, customer service and timelines and the comparison.
I don't have any experience with PSA customer service, not a lick. Pretty much just got bent over the table for a while with the the service, getting cards graded for a while, but that was with CGC as well. So I can't really even at all speak to PSA's customer service. I hear it's a pain having to call in at like right when they open, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
And waiting on a call line until you get picked up. But it's been a long time since I reached out to CDC, and when I do, it's via email a lot of the times, and it's pretty within 24 hours I'm getting a response. So,
that's good.
but it's been a while. It's probably even better now, I would think. It's customer service is where it's at. Like I was just listening to a podcast, and I think it was a guy that has an online store he was talking with Nostalgianomics. But the guy, I forget what the name of the store was, but he's like, literally, customer service is what's going to help sell your product. You being able to fulfill your orders on time, efficiently, being the guy that gives them a bonus for when you mess up an order, like going above and beyond the Call of Duty is what your competitors aren't doing 99% of the time. Of course, there are those people out there that are doing exceptionally well, but a lot of them are dog bleep. Just a lot of them. A lot of eBay sellers. There's so many bad ones. It's crazy. So it'll keep customers coming back. So kind of got down a little rabbit hole there, but
no, I think it's hugely important. I think a good example of that you can compare it with is restaurants, is eating out, right? If you have bad service somewhere, you don't really want to go back, even if the food's good or the drink's good or the atmosphere, whatever. If you have bad service and your food takes a while and they mess up your order, like they just do like dumb mistakes, it kind of ruins the whole experience. And it's honestly, it's a little bit like that for grading. Like it kind of puts a bit of taste in your mouth when like one of the things just isn't as good as it should be, especially when you're paying good money. Grading cards ain't cheap. Like $15 a card even, that's a lot of money for a little plastic box. Like really is a lot of money. So there's that. Like I feel like you're paying like a premium price for like a service and a product there, and you kind of want premium service. Like I feel like you want that. I do think there is some elements of the service that they're good at with PSA. They have really good boxes. I feel like the slabs are okay. Like, you know, CGC has great slabs. Like they look really pretty and clean. I mean, that box is brilliant. That's got to be an expensive box to have had made. They probably order considerable bulk. Like it's probably a big chunk, but that's got to be an expensive box to have manufactured. So they do put that little bit of effort in, because you get that even if you order one card. So yeah, I don't know. There's a few different things. I'm excited to see what changes with the money that they've made these past 2 or 3 years, what kind of changes and improvements each of the companies are going to make, because they both seem to be doing okay. I mean, even though, like you say, CGC's knocking them out pretty quick, they're still doing a decent chunk of cards. There's still a lot of slabs out there, and they're particularly in a few different avenues, right, with miscuts and the things that were talked about in the meeting with Matt. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes, but it's always a good topic to compare them.
I can't be the only guy that literally religiously, if I'm going to eat somewhere, like somewhere I'm not familiar with, and I look up restaurants, I go straight to the Google reviews. If I see anything below 4 stars, I'm like, I don't even think about going there. Literally, it's like
I need to do
off
that.
the list. Off the list.
I need to get better at that.
It served me well in finding nice hole-in-the-wall places to eat. Like you wouldn't think about Google in this place, but it's got like 4.6 stars, and it's owned by a fat Tommy named Steve, and he's got 3 first names, and you got to go down 7 flights of stairs to find the place, but it gets you some good food in your belly. Tell you what.
All for it.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be a chef, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah.
Not in the U.S. though, right? Or was that was all
U.S. too?
You were in Chicago, or
in England and in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Taco Bell, they just call them fryers, but
shut up. No, I was legit. I'll tell you the story one day. I'll give you some.
No, you got to tell. Where were you chefing at?
No,
since
come
we
on.
wasn't
Let's
talking
talk about slabs. That was boring. I don't want to talk about
no bullshit.
little old
You
me.
can't just cliffhang these people. You need to at least tell them.
We'll do it.
Was it Cheesecake Factory? Was it Giordano's? Like, what were we talking?
We'll do it. A spicy slab meal, spicy slab starters. That's what we'll do. We'll do a video about it.
Wow, you're just gonna edge them like that. All right. So
hey, I tell you what. If we get enough good spicy topics in the comments this week, I'll talk about it. I'll give the full explanation next week. We'll go through it. I'll give a full bio.
We're not going to ask for 69 likes because you probably won't get there. We'll ask for 40 likes and 20 spicy comments, and we'll find out where Oak was frying French fries.
Taco time
as a chef. So,
Josh,
what's up?
You want to say it? You want me to say it? This is a big one.
Go ahead, man. You got another baby coming?
No, PWCC. This is crazy.
It's good stuff, man. It's what we all wanted, right?
I guess. Do you want to intro it? You want to touch on it?
Yeah, I can. So PWCC is an auction house for those of you that do not know. Similar to Heritage and similar to what Golden's trying to do. I call it that. Golden has a vault. PWCC had the original vault. And people are trying to be like PWCC. PWCC was originally consigning probably all through eBay until about almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. They got booted off of eBay for shill bidding. Was the statement, I believe. Everything has shill bidding. Heritage, eBay, everything's got shill bidding. I'm curious, nothing ever came of it. They never really announced what exactly happened, but that's what happened. But PWCC was just acquired through acquisition by the one, the only Fanatics. So Fanatics is a massive company, obviously, because they got enough money to shell out for that. I'll give a little background on Fanatics, and I'll let you talk a little bit. But Fanatics is a company that is they've been around. They just took over football, baseball, and basketball cards from Topps. In the next few years, they took over the licensing from Topps and Panini. So they literally are going to be huge. That's the first time I think they've had it. People are concerned in the sports world because Topps might be printing stuff into the ground because they know they're losing licenses in a few years. Yep. But Fanatics is going to be licensed to print effing cards. They have their own vault, and they are probably one of the number one companies for selling college sports stuff online. They have a huge online presence selling online. So there's concerns with LGSs maybe being secondary to online retail, direct to consumer, because that's what Fanatics is known for. So it'll be really interesting. But I think it's awesome news.
Do they have stores?
Fanatics? No.
Actual stores?
There's no, I don't think so. They might have deals, partnerships. I don't think they have brick and mortars.
I could imagine
there might be in a couple cities, but
yeah, I can imagine them having maybe one of those little merch stores in a stadium or something, maybe something like that. I don't think they have any that I've seen.
Fanatics sponsored, probably something.
Yeah. They seem to be pretty successful and wanting to branch out into a lot of sports stuff, right? They seem to be really spreading some roots in some areas pretty heavily. Yeah. It's kind of surprising. I did not see the PWCC purchase coming. I knew something was wacky with them firing those people, and I did think that it was odd that they were suddenly fire people and pissed me off so much by just basically shutting down the services. But I guess it made them lean for the acquisition because suddenly their profit and loss for April and May was probably pretty good with those staff being eliminated and all those sales still going through. Even though they're not shipping stuff out, they're still making the sales, they're still making the profit, even though they're not doing anything with the items. So feels like they fudged the numbers a little bit to do with something to do with that purchase there. I don't know the full extent to the reasoning. I want to circle back real quick before we dive into what's happening right now, because you were talking about the eBay elimination due to the shill bidding, and I know that there was conversation. I don't remember the exact specifics of it. There was conversation about there being some leadership, some higher up level staff being involved in the shill bidding, whether it was approving it, directing it, leading it, whatever it was. They had some involvement in there, and there was like messages that got like of them like shared of them joking around and stuff. So I think there was definitely some culture concerns looking into PWCC back then, and then them doing their own thing. This purchase, I'm hoping there's going to bring some more professional culture from Fanatics, some direction of like accountability, and like this is the vision that we have in the roadmap. You're either on board or like get gone kind of thing. I really hope they're going to retain really good talent, because PWCC could be something really special. Like they have a lot of people that send them stuff. They have a lot of people that have their eyes on it every week. You make videos about it every Sunday night. Like there's people that are very heavily invested. I check it weekly, 2-3 times a week. At nighttime, I go in and I'll check stuff and I'll see where we at. Is this something I want to keep my eye on? Something I want to do Sunday night? I'm not the only person. A lot of people. Something on here. I don't think we had it on here, but SM Pratt that you were talking about in the live, like he's a big one to be involved in this now. To be sending consignments and stuff through PWCC. They need to make some big waves like that and handle it really well. And they're gonna set a standard. I think they could make it really special. But I'm really, really hopeful this Fanatics is going to be a good thing. What do you think's going on with PWCC? Why do you think this happened? What do you think Fanatics is thinking or planning? Like, there's going to be changes. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so similar to my company in 2017 had a lot of black eyes from things they've done with prices and stuff. And I'm in the automotive world, automotive supplier. So we had a bunch of black eyes, and then we were acquired in 2017 and rebranded our name completely. Just took everything we were, rebranded it, selling basically the same thing. We have new like terms and conditions and all this other stuff because we have a new owner, but the rebranding is huge. And I think, calling it a year and a half max, they better rebrand the son of a bitch. Like, I think PWCC, the name just gets so, I think it'll just, obviously it's recognition, people that's a recognized name, but who cares? Really, it's a freaking website. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. I don't think that name's that amazing. I think if they rebranded to something, could clear up a little bit of stuff. It'll help put that in the past. This is us. We are going forward. We are a new company. We have possibly some new management, even though they said they're going to basically be going forward like they are. But I think a rebranding would be huge for them, just like it was for my company, which would be great. And obviously the firings, the layoffs lines up directly with selling the company. That's exactly what my company did. A lot of people laid off in 2017, 2016, teeing it up for the acquisition. And then basically those people will hire in their new people where they see fit. And that's the way it's going to go. But PWCC was having some issues. Like the whole talk about it was they were over leveraged on loans with some of their high-end sports cards. Like they were paying people out for the cards, and then the cards would sit in their vault, and then the market crashed on high-end sports cards, and then the loan companies were pounding on PWCC's door, it seemed. This is just stuff I've heard. Nothing is definite, but definitely everything is pointing that way. And it just, they're having issues, and it's almost like a bailout. PWCC was probably the ones calling around, if I'm guessing completely, but if I was them, I'd probably be the ones calling around like, hey, you're looking to buy a company, and it might be a right fit for you. Honestly,
I mean,
like
they're in sales. They're in the business of selling.
Yep.
So
the CEO, whoever that was, I don't even know who that was at the time, probably was shopping it around a little bit and landed in a great spot. So Collectors Universe owns the Golden Vault, all of that. Collectors Universe grades cards. Fanatics now owns the #1 vault, and Fanatics is going to be making football, basketball, and baseball cards, which is insane that they, again, took that away from Topps in the next couple of years, which is that blows my friggin' mind alone. So the company's here to stay. If I worked at PWCC still, I'd be ecstatic with the acquisition. I know change is hard, but that's huge. It's they're in it to win it. They love sports cards. They want to see the success behind PWCC, and really thoroughly looking forward to the transition.
So you can grade with CGC through PWCC, right? Yep. And sell them straight on there. You think Fanatics is coming for CGC? You think they're going to go for
CGC's on the market at all, just because of how many different things are under their umbrella? But
please, everything has a price. Fanatics seems to be the mega million dudes. Like, they seem to have the money there. I don't know. I can't help but think that there's something there. It's either that or it's going to be a strong partnership, and they're going to make products grading at an auction available. They're either going to buy it or they're going to build on it and make it something really special with CGC, because that feels like a no-brainer, being able to offer a grading product with that stuff, right?
Yeah. The thing about Fanatics, though, I think they're basically just sports cards. CGC, like sports and trading cards, is like, yeah, their lowest priority behind comics, I feel like. On video games, probably the lowest. But
now they own like PWCC and CGC, the company. We have NSG, is it NCG, NSG, whatever, the coins. We've got paper money. We've got sports cards. We got there's like a million different things. They have like 10 different buildings, Matt said. And now they have a platform to sell it and make a commission on the money that they've just charged to get the stuff to sell and make the commission on.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting just to have two pillars in the company, just all under two different umbrellas, battling it out to the death. Would be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It's worth talking about. It's fun. It's fun to speculate and talk about this stuff. But I agree with you. I think I would be excited too. It seems like PWCC's had a bit of a black eye, like you said. I guess I didn't really put it in that perspective before, and with that phrase, but like they've been a little bit like tainted. Like some people have had a bit of taste in their mouth, and honestly, like I have a bit of taste in my mouth right now because of them firing that staff, and I can't get my freaking product. Like it's just sitting there, and I've paid for it. So, yeah, I'm really hopeful that they're going to make some changes, some improvements. We'll see. We'll see what comes from it. Interesting what you're saying about them possibly like having some financial issues, because I don't think I'd considered that. I don't think I'd thought that deeply about it. I haven't had much time to think, honestly. I've had, the kids all evening. I haven't had a lot of time to mull it over, but that makes a lot of sense because I knew they were doing some pretty loosey-goosey stuff. I mean, they were offering me monies and loans and stuff for things for small amounts, but like it seemed pretty simple to get that stuff set up. More simple than you would think. So I could see that being a real issue, especially for the people that have then liquidated that card or that comic or whatever, and then this little money, because it went down so much. I can definitely see some issues there. So yeah, that's a good topic to touch on.
So a service that PWCC offers that maybe a lot of people don't know, but if you have $100,000 worth of cards at their whatever estimated value in your vault, you could essentially take a loan out against those if they're going into an auction, or you could leverage that to buy something else that's in the vault. And that's kind of where they're getting caught. Basically, they had issues with that, and then the price is tanking on sports cards. Michael Jordan going from $800K to now $200K sub for a 86 Fleer PSA 10. Just one of the cards that have hit the absolute floor. Maybe not, still going down, but That's just an example of now it's over leveraged. The guy that technically took the loan out, he's like, "I'll just keep the card. I'm good." And they're like, "Well, F me. Like this thing's worth a fourth of what it used to be. Like just
yeah."
And then the loan company's like, "Hey, it's that time of the month. What are you doing?" So and then yeah, so there's listening to a whole bunch of different sports podcasts and stuff. They're all of the talk about that, and it seems there's been a lot of high end sports cards getting auctioned lately that seem to be possibly in PWC. We're down the rabbit hole here, but yeah, it's a lot of it lines up, makes sense. But I'm excited. I'm truly excited that Fanatics made this purchase.
Yeah. Did you ever borrow any money or do any of that kind of stuff with them?
I really thought about it a few times. I'm like, man, I should just send in all these cards and leverage it and get my Charizard I want.
Just do it. I did. I kind of did it, but like not really. It wasn't anything big. I feel like they used to charge seller fees, right? When you sold something, you paid the fee, and then they changed it to the buyer pays the premium. Is that right?
Yeah.
I feel like I used to have fees after I sold stuff a while back.
Yep.
And I remember
it just comes off the top, yeah.
Right. I remember having like an invoice on my sales that I'd have to pay. And I remember I'd pay that against the stuff that was going in the next auction, like the stuff I already had. So it was like I never really had to pay them. I just used what was already in that realm and like borrowed against it. It was just so easy. I never had to like give my credit card and that kind of stuff. So I kind of did it, but like it was just for a few fees. Like it wasn't for anything crazy. It was super easy, just a few clicks of a button. So
yeah, and that makes complete sense why they went to freaking buyer's premiums. Now they only need to collect payment one time instead of twice. So
yeah, it's kind of silly.
50% of the transaction fees.
Yeah, and I don't feel like prices were that heavily affected. I did think prices were going to jump down quite a bit from that, but I didn't really notice that much difference, really. Not that I analyzed it too deeply, but I didn't see anything too crazy. A lot of the cards, some of the cards I was watching, actually prices went up recently, just with the market. So I don't think people really consider it as much as you'd think. Like you feel like you should, but if you want the card, you chase it, right?
The
buyer's premium is irrelevant.
Yep. Yeah, I think your issue getting cards back from PWCC, my issue, it took like 2 weeks to get one of my graded games back. Is systemic from a lot of people, a lot of speculation around sports cards and everything about this happening. It sounds like people have known for like a week that this sale was possibly going to happen, or a little bit longer even. And a lot of people are probably just pulling from PWCC in like fear. I would be if I had $1 million or $30,000 or $15,000 in the vault chilling. Like I'd almost pull it out. Just I'm going to let this thing play out, but I want to hold my cards while I do it, and then I maybe send them back if I'm happy with how things fall. But I think there's a backlog of people withdrawing cards in addition to the layoffs. I feel like shipping is not the department they're cutting back on salaries. It's probably some of the upper management stuff. Yeah, I think it's a backlog. It's got to be a shit ton. There's like 90,000 items in the fixed price section. Whew. It's a lot of freaking things. I don't think I've ever seen it over 100K, but
that's just the stuff that's listed.
Yeah,
that's not even the stuff just sitting there too. That
not even the stuff vaulted.
Yeah, it must be pretty
full. Video games. They have baseball bats in there, like in memorabilia.
Yeah,
it's massive.
It's got to be fun. Imagine being in there though, like seeing all the different stuff.
It'd be wild. You'd get numb to it. Like everyone talks about all these people that do their consignments and stuff. You just get numb to what you're looking at. You're like, oh yeah, there's another PSA 10 Shadowless Charizard. Who gives a flying F? Like, there's another PSA 10 Harpy's Pet Dragon. Who cares? It's just a beautiful freaking card. But yeah, it'd be weird. I don't ever want to be that. I don't want to be numb to graded cards because these things are pretty cool. So making it a business would kind of ruin this for me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're like we're in the midst of it, right? We like can enjoy it and still make a couple of bucks to buy something else that we enjoy and do this and do that kind of stuff. So
buy some dinner, go out to eat, go on a trip.
Yep.
Fun stuff, man. It's a fun little side hustle.
You gotta live and love it. Yeah. What do you think about the eBay vault? What are your thoughts on that? Have you got anything there? Have you bought anything from or to there? I haven't. Honestly, I mean, I've seen a couple of things listed. I haven't seen them pushing it that much. Like I don't even think it's asked me to send anything there from what I remember on some of our purchases. But what about you? What's your
I think every time I buy something over $250, I think it gives you a vault option. I think could be wrong on that price point.
So it's going to them anyway.
Yeah, instead of shipping it to my PO, I could ship it to the vault and initiate that. I have not done that. Might be worth a shot to just do it. But yeah, the eBay vault will be interesting. Obviously, a lot of people are saying the eBay vault's going to be the PWCC killer. I've heard that a few different places, but I've also heard a lot of different people talking about eBay vault dropping some seriously nice consignment rates. Like fees are going to be freaking juicy. Like at least 2 people I know, sub 5% consignment rate for like cards. I don't know if it's auctions or buy it nows. It's probably both. I don't know why it would be a difference between the two. Less than 5% consignment rate. That's
to sell from there.
Cheap. To sell through the eBay vault, which is eBay. Essentially, you're on eBay selling your cards.
What about shipping? Yeah. I feel like that would be like the deciding factor for me. Like, are they going to charge like $10 for shipping or something crazy?
To ship to me if I buy from the vault, you mean?
PWCC is so expensive to ship from.
Yeah, they're reclaiming their sales tax that you saved. They're like, oh, if you're going to take this from us, then I'm going to get you for sales tax and these fees. Like, eat my nuts.
Yeah, so
that's what they're doing.
I think that may be good if they charge realistic shipping prices, but obviously they're in it to make money. They need to make money somewhere. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it. But that'd be good if the fees are lower. It'd make a lot more sense.
I think their vision, like I don't know, somebody else has mentioned, is at one point that there's 3 million cards in the vault. And if eBay is making 2% transaction fees every time something sells from one vault to another, and all the work they have to do is go beep, beep, their job's done to transfer it from one vault to the next just by scanning a barcode. That's basically where PWCC was heading. But a lot of stuff would come back to my house because I like seeing my stuff. And but yeah, I think that's their end game. They see we could do like minimalistic transactions, very less small amount of work on the back end, and we're reaping 2, 3, whatever that percentage is, 4 or 5% per transaction. So I think they got some big eyes looking down this freaking telescope. So they're honing in on it. But yeah, it's very beta, I'd say right now, because I just heard TCA Gaming, I think, talking about him still giving them pointers and things to fix and stuff like that. So they're definitely still working on this. It ain't going to be perfect, just like their current eBay live system. Still working through kinks on that. And but yeah, it's pretty awesome. You plan on maybe ever using it, or what are your thoughts?
5% selling fee. Yeah, if the full picture works out, it's okay. Selling fee. I know that there's some issues with titling, classifications of the item specifics, like those kind of stuff. I know there's still some kinks where some stuff's out of your hands, and if I want to say this card's a pop 1, I'm going to sell it myself. Like I don't want to have to deal with like them titling it and missing things out that are really crucial to like what really people are searching and looking for and catching an eye. People shop with their eyes, so you need to tell them what it is that they're seeing. But it does sound like they're a big company and they're intentional about selling items. They want to get stuff sold. They're literally a sales platform. So I trust that they're gonna do their best to try and make that happen. I guess it just comes down to what are they going to do different from PWCC, Golden, whatever,
And just to clarify, I think that 5% or whatever it is, less than 5% is like special prices for these larger stores on eBay. It's not going to be mine and your price. It'll be, we could realize that price if we can sign through these people, but they probably have a minimum price that they require your card to cost. Like, you're not going to be sending them $20 cards. Like, you could do that with PWCC and pay 20% or whatever it is, and that's it. So that might be the PWCC play. Maybe just junk slabs go to PWCC, and that just becomes a dump fest, and all the juicy stuff's in eBay because of you can't beat that rate. So, it'll be spectacular. I think I wouldn't call it a PWCC killer by any means. Just a lot of the reason because Fanatics bought them, and I think they're going to be in this competition and ready to go to war. So, but the eBay Live thing, you've had a chance to check out a couple of them. Did you watch the P Football Pete one? I think that was like the original TCG one.
Yeah, that was the first one. I was really excited, and I ended up getting busy with the kids, and I didn't. I was like kicking myself that I missed it. I couldn't make it. I didn't manage to get it happen. I did see Nick last week. Shout out Old School Pokemon. I was watching him. I know you said you jumped in there a little bit too. Really enjoyed it. It was like super positive and entertaining as always. He's a really enjoyable person to watch and interact with. Super pleasant and funny. Like, is such a good guy. So I really enjoyed it, and it looked like he had some good success. Like, he had a lot of interaction, a lot of people in there. So I was really happy for him. I wanted to support him,
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like, P Football Feet had like 10K viewers one time.
10,000 live.
Yeah, 10,000 live, and I think it's all based on.
Wow.
I believe only followers get pings when you go live, so it makes sense mathematically. He's probably got a effing bajillion people following his page. Whereas Nick Old School Pokemon, I don't even remember, 5,000 something. So I don't know what he peaked at viewer wise, but I know it wasn't 10K. So it's pretty interesting to see that, like, the number of followers really mattering when it comes to eBay Live, because that's going to be, obviously you don't want to go live in front of 5 people. Like, I don't want to go. I have 300 followers on eBay. Like, one person might tune in. I'm good. Like, I'm not going to be selling anything to this dude. What do you think is like more effective? Because the gentleman you didn't get to watch, Football Pete, did like a QVC setup where they're looking at the camera. They have their products in front of them. They're talking to you about these products. He had another gentleman next to him, whereas Old School Pokemon has like call it a rip and ship setup where you're ripping packs in front of the camera. You can't even see his face. All you can see is hands and ripping packs. Like, completely different approaches. They're selling kind of different things. Nick was selling sealed stuff. P Football Feet only sold sealed stuff. But is there one that would appeal to you more, out of curiosity? Like, which way, like, if you were tuning into a Old School Pokemon, do you want to see Nick in front of you, QVC style, talking about this, talking about that, or do you want to see rip and ship style? Which one's more appealing to the viewer?
I think visually, Nick's setup was a lot better. The items were up close, right? Because he's really close on the desk with them. There's not a lot of movement and distractions, and like, you don't feel like you have a sales pitch coming at you. I just generally think the atmosphere is much more fun and relaxed and dynamic. Like, he can grab stuff while he's sitting there and like show you things, talk about things, interact. There's a lot less like structured and formal. I don't know what positives I can think of from the format that you were saying with P Football Pete. That sounds like it would really appeal to like older people that like just like Dan says, like allergic to money. Like they just want to be shown something and be told how amazing it is, so they'll buy it. Whereas like Nick's felt like it was like interactive and like different things popping up and showing you different stuff and people in the chat. I don't know. Like there's no way you could talk in the chat if there's 10,000 people. Like there's no way you can be interactive with that.
I don't remember looking at it. It would have probably been a zoo.
Like just ridiculous, right? There's no sense of community there. It's not like there's not like that any kind of that vibe at all. So for me, it'd been Nick all the way. I mean, obviously, I consider him a friend. I love that guy, but out of bias, just sticking to the facts. I mean, it just for me is plain and simple. I definitely prefer to watch that. What about you? Like, did you enjoy the football Pete one?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the generic rip and ship style content video. It's way better. Like if you have that set up with like face cam, way better. Just like I like seeing instead I'm just interacting with cubicles, and I'd rather be interacting with a person's face and seeing them talk and seeing the reactions.
Yeah, I would like to see his face actually.
Yeah, content wise, I mean the dude's beautiful, so it only makes sense. But yeah. It goes a long way. Like I know if I do like a PSA return video, it does not get like as much appreciation when you can't see like my reaction to getting different things, and it's cooler. I like seeing that. My content creators I'm watching, I want to see how they're reacting. Are they having a good time? Like, is this just printing money? What are we doing? So yeah, no. Cool stuff, though. I'm excited. It's going to be wild to see. Like, eBay's got a lot of things brewing. The live, the vault, Jesus. It's got me excited, man. This is going to be a crazy, like, next 5 years. That PWCC just sold, just Golden's website. That's the
key, right?
That's going to get better.
Exactly. This is right on the precipice of a whole new chapter. Like, there's some big changes, some big things coming in. I think they realize how big of an industry trading cards is and comics and this and that. Like people are taking it way more serious now, after seeing the kind of numbers and the sales from these past few years. People have some serious money and people are pretty serious about collecting this stuff and buying it and selling it and trading it and all the rest of it. Some companies are jumping on that. They want to optimize and take some money out of it. That's fine. If you can give us the service so that we can do it really well, like I'm happy for that. I don't mind paying.
Yeah, so it's interesting, like the PSA Collectors Universe owning Golden, and when you're checking out now for your submission, it gives you the option to submit directly to Golden Vault.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be pretty insane, I think, in the next year or so. Because I feel like when here's your grades, like already on the phone, like we already talked about it once, being able to reveal your cards, flipping them over on your phone is so cool. Like I mentioned, it's literally like opening a pack of Hearthstone cards. It's like digital bliss, and it's gonna give you a price soon. Like it'll say, "Oh, last sold right here. Oh, send this to Golden to realize price." Like they have it already. They have all these prices, estimated prices in their website. So it's gonna be, hey, this return is approximately worth $10,000. Would you like to send it to Golden? We'll give you a special rate.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get dirty. It's going to get pretty wild.
Sold through Golden yet?
No, I haven't sold through PWCC, Golden, or Heritage. I buy things. I'm a bad boy.
I might do this. I might send this submission that I have at PSA right now that's in assembly. I might send that to them and just see. It's just one thing. I might just do it to test.
Yeah, I just read something, listened to something that said about 2 weeks for when it might get listed or recognize that Golden.
Do they display pops? They give us a pop one. If it's a PSA 9 or a 10 or something, and it's the only one.
I have no
Because I love that about PWCC. Love that.
PWCC does a pretty good job with that. It seems to be all automated by PWCC. They have some code guy because God knows they're not doing it for every card. But I doubt it. I doubt it. They'll probably do it for some cards they think are expensive, but if you got a pop one Pikachu from 2013, black and white, probably ain't getting that special notation unless you like call 12-pack Dave from the Golden Show and have him, you know him yourself. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. On that, you want to talk a little bit about PSA AI?
Yeah, I feel like that we had a bit of a conversation a while back about PSA's AI, the Gem AI, whatever it was called, that they purchased. Geniment. The hell happened to Geniment? Where did that go? I never heard a whisper about it again since they announced it. I don't know if they're using that on those pre-grade pictures before it gets graded at receiving, but those didn't look very clear. Like when I looked at mine that just went through, like they didn't look that clear. They didn't look that great. So I don't know. I feel like that AI that isn't AI would need a pretty clear picture, like a pretty like good quality one, which is expensive to store. You know, good quality picture at that volume. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they gave up on it or if they're using it on a like lower scale or any like obvious stuff, or I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if have you heard anything about it?
Yeah, so I just watched a podcast from, I forget what the CEO's name was. He was on a podcast with Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
It was probably a little bit older of a podcast, but still, it was some really good information I didn't even know now, and literally just watched this like 48 hours ago. So it's pretty interesting you brought it up, but they didn't have a huge focus on grading cards with AI in that discussion. It was a lot more of like, through that discussion, it sounded a lot more like optimizing pictures, and when, like you said, like when they're taking their pictures, like being able to notate the card, what it is, similar to what TCG Player does currently with like raw cards, like phenomenal programming. I think this is like some version of that, but I think Geniment's probably behind like the reveal and all that stuff. Like all of their infrastructure and development is kind of what seemed to be why PSA had purchased them. The gentleman was saying like they want to just optimize their photos and be able to recognize certain things and recognize if the card's miscut or something. It didn't sound like they had a big focus on grading things like robo grading. I forget what they're called, but yeah. So I'm all good with baseball, keeping the umpire, keep the human element involved. Don't make it all robots, because then I might as well just go to robo grading. I forget what the hell's their name. AGS. Why is it called robo grading? There ain't even an R in there. But yeah, I think what they've done for the app and like the reveal thing, like I said, it's literally gets me excited. When I get grades now, I look at it, I'm like, swipe. It's so cool. Like a kid in a candy store.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this next one. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one last week.
For tens though, so you're probably screwed.
Yep. I had that last submission. It was pretty good. It was pretty nice swiping through them. It felt good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm glad I asked. We didn't talk about that beforehand, so I'm glad I asked that. That was very good timing.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's AI. Yeah, speaking of AI, I just used Chat GPT for the first time in my life in the last week. The last week.
Success.
It ain't good. It ain't good. It ain't good for me, and being in a university right now, it ain't good.
I feel like my four times today at work.
How do I respond to this bitch Becky because she keeps saying this stupid thing? Give me a nice email so I don't cuss her out. No, I can see you right now.
I was having it help me analyze some data. I was doing some data analysis with some report of some of my employees, and yeah, it worked. It worked well. I mean, it didn't do it quite as well as I hoped it would. I still ended up doing it myself, but it was interesting seeing the responses align with what I was trying to do anyway. Yeah,
it's insane. Like I'm in an electrical engineering course. I hate electrical engineering. I'm going for mechanical, and it can write code. Like I just said, hey, give me a program to do this. 10 seconds. Like this is not
manual
good
anymore, right? This manuals are out the window.
Yeah, who needs Chegg if you ever heard of Chegg? But I would definitely be short selling those stocks. That's for sure. If they're public, ChatGPT is pretty insane. So it was pretty interesting. I was like, hey, create a TCG for me in ChatGPT, and it gave me like 3 paragraphs of this TCG explaining the lore to it, all this different stuff. It was pretty freaking funny. I'm like, this is something else. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we could have a bit of fun with that. On like live streams and stuff. I know Peak that you he played around with it a little bit in a couple of live streams. That was fun, but it feels like the limits are like so far away from what it can do. There's other than delivering milk to your door, I feel like it can pretty much do anything else that isn't physical, right?
Yeah, and I also did like obviously you could pay for websites through Shopify and all this other stuff. I was like, hey, I asked it just to create me a standard website so I can sell things. And it literally created like a blanket Shopify. You could add things to a cart, you could buy them now. All you had to do is upload your pictures. It literally, I took the HTML, uploaded to like an HTML viewer, like there's apps to just view what it would look like. It was obviously bare bones, but if you could play with it a little bit and optimize, like, it could be free, could be saving money on but then it did not include like all how to do PayPal transactions and all of that. Like that would be more code you can get, but software engineer probably copy and paste it from his other job he did. So could be saving some money.
I have a computer science degree. I can write code. I'll help you with that if you ever want to do it. We could play around with it.
Yep, 100%. You want to take this class for me? I appreciate you. Send you a bill or a check.
You got ChatGPT to do it, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not learning the most right now. That's for sure. It's wild. I wanted to mention real quick. So the Yu-Gi-Oh 25th anniversary is like upon us now, but they're having briefcases made. So if you're not familiar with it, you probably aren't. But one of the main characters, Kaiba, he was like the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh in the anime. No. Yeah, he had the briefcase full of all the cards. So in his briefcase, open it up, one of every card. So they're basically remaking this briefcase. They made it for the OCG, which is Japan, a year or two ago, and they're making it here now, $399 make to order. And you get 3 of these Blue Eyes White Dragons, which is the first ever reprint of like one of the most expensive Blue Eyes White Dragons. So you get 3 of those that are probably going to be amazing condition because they're probably going to be on Japanese cardstock. Same experience in Yu-Gi-Oh as Pokemon. Like it's way nicer in Japanese cardstock.
Yep.
But Yu-Gi-Oh is nice because they print a lot of promos on Japanese cardstock in English. Pokemon never does that. We just get wrecked all the time with English cardstock. Yeah. But they're doing that. Inside of it, you get like a 60-card deck. You get 3 other promo cards that have never been released in either the TCG or OCG.
Oh, I thought it was just the 3 dragons.
Nope. And then looking at the Japanese ones, like the 3 looking at the one that came out, that was like $100 cheaper. It was like $299. You can grade a PSA 10 of one of those. It literally pays for almost the entire thing. You can get the play set, the 3 Blue Eyes for like $260. PSA 9s are selling for like $90. But yeah, PSA 10s are selling for like $250. So I might be dipping my toes into that pond there a little bit. It's expensive. Not going to go wide on it for sure, but if I could buy like 3 of them and have 2 of them pay for my 1, that'd be pretty sick. And they're make to order, so I know I'd get fulfilled. So could be
Where would you buy them?
So they're up for pre-order now. I think Konami.com or whatever. It's
just direct from them.
Yep,
okay.
Yep, it's all direct. Yep, just like Pokemon Center would do a special skateboard or something. It's basically
on
like that.
Pokemon Center.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean that's intriguing. I used to love watching Yu-Gi-Oh. I watched it all the time. I was just like Pokemon, you know, I was obsessed with it, whatever I could watch. I like the idea of getting into it. I just don't know enough about the card side of stuff. Yeah, I never really interacted with the cards, and I have very few. I don't have too many of them, but that kind of stuff, like that's intriguing, just because it's cool, right? It's cool stuff, even if it wasn't worth money, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like the last time Pokemon came out with like a $300 to $500 actual card item. All I can think of is like the gold Pikachus and all of them, the weird.
Was that new set this summer, right? The black set. I don't know how much it is. I have no idea. I don't know how much it is, but that feels like the most premium thing I've seen in a while.
For sure, yeah. It's only coming out in Japan, of course.
Stacking damage counters. It looks so cool.
Those. I think they're metal too. It looks fancy as hell. They're probably ding my cards, but I play with not top rarity in my decks anyways. But yeah, no, it's because I like bridging my cards and I can't do that with a full art Miraidon. So but yeah, that's bullshit that we don't get that. It's got to be honest, Pokemon. If you're listening to this, you're completely effing us here on the North America side of things. Do better. I don't think they will though. I think it's going to be exclusive.
Wait, is that coming from Japan?
It's only in Japan. It's not even. You got to enter a lottery to get it in Japan.
But you're going to try and get 3.
Oh no! So the one, I thought you were talking about the Pokemon one. Still, you jumped on me.
Sorry, I thought you jumped back. That's why I was confused. No, yeah, the Pokemon one's Japan only. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to figure out to get that. Honestly,
the other one's not coming out. It might be made in Japan, but it's shipping whatever.
It's here.
$40.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
$40 ship. Not bad. Not bad. It's acceptable. I can get behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also want to talk a little bit. I went to a Comic-Con for my first effing time in my life. Was hoping for a little bit better results. So it was like called the Motor City Comic-Con. Did a whole vlog on it. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully be dropping that here in the next 48 hours. We shall see if I get some free time to finish up the editing, because those take a little bit of time. But yeah, it was a lot of people signing autographs, basically people from TV shows, similar to Collecticon, but there was 2 Pokemon booths in the whole place, and all sealed and modern cards, just completely different vibes from Collecticon. I don't think I would ever go to another Comic-Con, to be honest, in my life.
Wow.
It was pretty like, think about like how many, when you're walking around Collecticon, how many booths have Pokemon out of 4? 3?
Yeah, decent amount.
It was basically the same thing, but with comic books there. So there was like every 3 out of 4 booths had comic books. I was there looking to buy my first ever comic book. I have a graded magazine here behind me, the big one, but I don't have a single graded comic book. So I was looking for some older Batmans. I saw maybe like one Batman from before 1990. Everything was freaking.
You do have one.
Comics?
Yeah, because I bought you one from PWCC and they haven't delivered it back to me yet to send you. I bought you one like a month ago and I still don't have it.
Nice.
So you do actually have one. So there's your saving grace.
Well, you should have told me. I wouldn't have even went. Saved me on a trip. And it was freaking $40. It was a $40 ticket plus $5 bullshit fee. $45, and then I had to pay $10 parking. $55.
I mean,
the line was absurd too. The line was worse than any Collecticon I've ever seen. There was less booths than Collecticon. It was just.
Was it busy too?
It was a sardine fest. Wait till you see this thing. It was.
Oh my God.
I'm glad my kids were going to come. My son was not feeling good, so they ended up not coming. But yeah, it was just a sardine pool. Was not a great situation. If I had kids there, we would have left way sooner. Cool event. Like I mentioned before the stream here, I got to see Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. He was there. I wish I had an extra hour to stand in that line. I'm going to regret probably not doing it because the dude's like 907. But yeah, really cool seeing a couple of those people. And the gentleman from Home Improvement was there. Not the one,
guy who
not Tim
works with
Allen.
him.
Not Tim Allen, but his homeboy.
I just saw him in a commercial the other day.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, he's like doing
He
TV
looked the same. I'm
too.
like, oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah. I don't know. The Comic Con, I'd go to Gen Con. I think I would go to Gen Con, which is like a gaming convention down in Indianapolis, not Comic Con. So that would be pretty cool. I really would like to get down to another one of those, and not this year, but maybe next year.
Isn't Comic Con the one where people dress up a lot?
That was one of the coolest parts. There were so many more people dressed up versus Collecticon. Yeah. I wish Collecticon would kind of adapt that. I feel like it should, just because of all the people. Like, it's all anime crap there, most of the part, mostly. And there's just way less people dressed up at Collecticon versus Comic Con. It was cool. Lots of cool costumes. Lots of dude dressed up as the Powerpuff Girls, which was pretty interesting to see. Okay. You could rock it. You could rock it.
I'll be that little monkey dude.
Oh, God. No, you look like Buttercup.
Is it Mr. What's his name?
Oh, God. I can't call that back. I don't remember.
It's like Mr. Bobo or something. I don't remember what it is. Some dumb ass name.
Oh, my God. I'll spit my water out. Jesus, that would have been tragic.
Help us out, guys. I think you're right. Chat. Is it?
I think you're right.
I don't know. It's something silly like that. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought they dressed up more. I think the thing with Comic-Con is people that are in comics tend to really gravitate towards specific characters, right? There's like really like stick with this is the character, this is the comic that I really like, and then they always buy that comic. Whereas I think in Pokemon, like we've got like shiny ball syndrome. There's so many things that we like and we're interested in. Like we don't all have just one Pokemon that we're like just completely obsessed with, mostly, for the most part. I mean, don't listen to me, but yeah, they're all like a lot of like people that like a lot of stuff in there, a lot of Pokemon, a lot of characters, artwork, styles, sets, generations, that kind of stuff. Whereas in comics, it's like, I love Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man's my dude. That's all I buy. That's all I read. That's what I want to dress up as. So I think there's a little bit of difference there from my perspective, but I don't know. I haven't been to one.
Yeah. Hope to get you at another Collecticon, though. You got to definitely take a look at your calendar and hopefully make it work, man.
Yeah, apparently Charlotte's going to be a fun one. So maybe we start planning for that. Who knows? What's this next one? Yeah. Buying products that are stolen or unreleased. Is this in reference to Target?
Yeah. No. Well, I guess. So what do you feel about, is it immoral? Like, people have been doing it because they've been putting tons of Paldea Evolved at Target. So it wasn't really going that way. But yeah, same concept. Like, they're putting Paldea Evolved way too early onto the shelves. Is it immoral to just buy it? If you don't buy it, the next guy in line is going to buy it. If I saw it, I'd buy it. What are you doing? Or would you tell him? Would you be like, hey, Mr. Sir, these are not supposed to be out for another 2 weeks?
I don't think they'd give two hoots. Honestly, I don't think the stores care. I think they just want to make money. Like, they're just there to make money. They're really... That is such a minuscule, tiny profit margin on what they sell and what they make money from in store. That is, online's a different story. Obviously, they haven't listed it online, but in store, they just sell such small volume. I just don't think they give a crap, honestly. There's just like not enough care there. But I could tell you, if I was Pokemon Company, I would care. I'd be having some pretty serious words with like leadership at Target, because it's not just one store, is it, that's messed up? Like, it seems like there's quite a few that have done it. And I can't imagine they got special permission to release Pokemon products before Pokemon even released it. Like, that seems a little far-fetched. But, Yeah.
And that's the show, folks. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd
What
probably
about?
I'd probably buy a booster pack just for the novelty, but I've already pre-ordered so much stuff. Like I got some stuff at good prices that I pre-ordered for it. So it's like I don't need to buy it. I might buy one just for the novelty. I think it's cool, but like honestly, like it just feels a bit weird. It feels a bit like
Yeah.
wrong, even though it's not. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's Pokemon cards. Like it's not. We're not talking about something that's going to affect somebody's life. You're not buying a medicine before some kid could get it or something. Like it's not. It's literally just buying a toy, a game, like something fun. And as long as you're not clearing them out and buying every single one, which I don't think that's anything to do with release date. I think that in general is bad. Just going in and buying everything out. That's like a whole different topic to that we could get into to approach. So yeah, I don't know the early thing, and I think that's why there seems to be a bit of a divide and a lot of like commotion and muddy water about it at the moment because it is kind of in the gray, right? Like there is no black and white, like what's right, what's wrong. Like I don't know. What I mean, you said yourself you'd buy it, but what if there was only one pack? Would you still buy it? Like, yeah, I mean, like, does it really matter? Like, is anyone gonna miss it if it's not even there? Like, I don't know.
If it's there for sale, I'm gonna buy it. If it's for sale, I've never been the guy where if there's 30 blisters, I'm not gonna grab all 30 of them. I'll grab 5 or 6, and go on my merry way, and enjoy it and experience being one of the first people to ever open a brand new Pokemon set, which would be pretty cool. Never been able to do that, so that'd be cool. But what about stolen, like actual, like there was that whole thing that came out. I don't know if you saw it, any of it, but Rattle Pokemon had commented on it, I think, on a video, and talking about the staff cards being potentially stolen at one point, and it turns out they aren't. I believe is the current verdict. But when he dropped his first video, saying the Evolving Skies cards were now have staff promos, and Zapdos is in there. In case you don't know, I'm a Zapdos guy. My first thought was go straight to effing eBay. It's like I'm about to buy one of these boys.
Let's go.
So I opened it up, looked at it. It was like $500 buy it now for like the pack of 4. I was like, can't do it. I can't do it. So luckily I did. In the next 5 minutes, somebody else snap bought it, probably because they saw Rattle's video. Then the news, whatever, 48 hours later, if that, not even, turns out they actually are giving out now.
Yeah.
Would you, if there was a staff Pikachu and it's an unofficially released thing that's in public, would you buy it? Not an official Pokemon release thing. Somebody either stole it, but it's for sale, for the taking. Possibility top 10 in the world.
I just don't know if I'd get the same satisfaction from it. Like I feel like I'm too like vanilla with that stuff. I like Crimson Invasion Pikachu. Like I'm not looking for I'm not chasing the big trophies or like the crazy stuff that's like really outsider type things. I think it's cool if I have a lower pop thing that I've created myself, but like I like regular set card Pikachus. Like that's my main focus, honestly. Maybe I'm not saying never. Like I'm not saying down the road when I've got my fulfillment from that, I'm gonna start getting on the infringements of on the fringe, so I say, of stuff, and then start dabbling in things. Not necessarily seeking out stolen product, but like, I mean, things are a bit more unique. Stolen specifically, I mean, I feel like it's illegal. Like I don't know, and my job right now, I don't talk about it a lot, but it involves stopping bad people doing some really bad crimes. I'm very heavily involved in that, somewhat. So the idea of committing a crime or being involved with one feels like naughty. That's a big no-no for me. I'm also just not super interested in it, honestly. I think for you with the Zapdos thing, it's a bit of a different situation though, because I don't think really knew for sure if they were stolen or the origin or whatever. Like, it wasn't like blatantly, I know these are stolen and this is the only one and I'm buying it from a criminal. Like, it wasn't that clear cut. So I could see that. I can, I wouldn't have any, like, I won't knock you for it if you did it. I don't really care, honestly, either way. But for me, I don't have any intentions about finding that kind of stuff, like Pikachu wise.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, the thought of it being, it was more appeal to me. I'll say it this way: it was more appeal to me being a potentially like leaked thing that probably isn't many in existence. There was more appeal there to me. And now knowing it's being mass released, I'm really happy I never bought it. That would have effing blew.
Thank God.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about just like not the mystery. I don't know, just something like the darkness to it, like just similar to like the disco print test sheets for that type of stuff. Like who, how, what, like those things are being eaten up like friggin' sausages. Like it's crazy. So I don't know. There's something about that, the edginess I feel like to it would give me some appeal. Like, hey, I got this cool Zapdos. Like not many other people got it.
I feel like a really weird analogy would be like if Santa Claus left his shoe at your house, if his shoe fell off and like left it at your house, you're like, I feel like I shouldn't have this, but this is, you're a little kid and you find the shoe, like this is the coolest freaking thing in the world, but I really shouldn't have it. Like, just feel there's like some obviously like excitement of like this feels like a special, something a bit special there. I think it's just a natural instinct, just a human instinct to like feel that way.
I'd sell the shit out of that on heritage auctions. Like you'd be printing money on Santa's shoe.
Can you imagine Santa's shoe?
Santa's effing shoe.
Stonks forever. Like big, like serious stonkage. Whew. Talk about stonk dogger. What was that phrase you said? Whew, stonk dog into the moon. Like
I said.
Yeah.
I said stonk dogging.
No, I did, didn't I?
Oh, I thought you said I said it. I'm like, no, it's definitely you. You definitely.
Yeah, no, yeah. Cinderella's got nothing on Santa. That'd be insane.
I'd say we end it with a pretty fun little topic here. Just some of our recommended TV shows that you guys should watch. I'm gonna let you take it off. Start us off here.
Yeah,
a little explanation to the show.
Yeah, there's one called Pokemon. It's about a young boy named Ash ventures off alone and goes on an adventure. No, in all seriousness, there's one. I did have a couple of suggestions for this. I thought that was a really good topic that you brought up, just to end on a nice positive note for everyone listening. There's one that I'm watching currently. I think I'm almost finished with it. It's called The Offer, and it's essentially a show about the filming of the film The Godfather, and the staff and the actors and stuff in the film. And it's obviously dramatized. There's fluff thrown in there to make it more, crazy, but it's actually a really good show. It makes you want to like watch the next episode, binge watch it or whatever. It makes you want to carry on watching. So if you haven't watched it, check that out. Another one that I liked was Ted Lasso. We've got another season coming out. It was a really fun one. It's about an American football coach going to England to coach football, actual football, soccer, and then the highs and lows of how crazy that stuff is. And oddly enough, I just realized, I don't know if this is subliminal or not, I just realized both of those shows have the same actress in it. There's an actress in Ted Lasso that's like one of the wives. She's one of the main characters in The Offer. Can't believe I just realized that. She's in it. She's English. She does a really bad American accent in The Offer, but you won't notice it. Don't worry.
Are those like shows you watch with a wife, or are they kind of just you shows or whatever?
Yeah. No, I don't watch anything by myself really, because when I'm by myself, I'm making money or studying. You know, I'm either learning something or doing something, or fixing something. So whenever I watch TV, it's normally because my wife's watching TV and I'll join it. We'll sit and watch something together. So yeah, watch with her. And then if you like crime type shows, you know, mystery type of stuff, there's one called Broadchurch, which is pretty cool. It's you know, a bit of intelligent TV show, I guess. You know, you got to think about it a little bit and feed those smart taste buds in your brain. What about you?
If you want shows that are no intelligence, there's a show called Backdoor Tammy that I've been watching. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I joke. I kid.
Can you drop us the link?
Yeah, drop the. It's linked in Java Akuma's YouTube page.
Oh God, Java, you little tinker.
He's the source. He's the source. Money Heist for me was an awesome show. Honestly, there's other shows that I'll just rattle off here in a second, but Money Heist for me was probably my favorite TV show of all time. It's brilliant. The original language was Spanish. It was recorded in Spain, English dubbed. But I listened to the English dub version. I absolutely loved it. So 6 seasons or so, but dude, the freaking show, literally it's about heists. Huge fan of like GTA 5 and all those different heists. So the way they were able to do it was really cool to see all of that stuff. It's obviously not real, but really cool. It made me want to go rob a bank, which was pretty cool. Couple shows I'm watching with the wife. That one's more me and kind of just made her suffer along. There's a show comedy called Ghost, which is really good. This girl, whatever, fell down and she could see dead people, essentially ghosts in the house, which is pretty cool dynamic, and her husband can't see them, so it's pretty hilarious.
It's like funny. It's like comedy.
Oh yeah, it's comedy. Yep, scary. And it's on cable TV, so it's not even Netflix or anything, but it's literally a great show. Then another cable TV one, which a lot of people don't know what cable is, but The Good Doctor. Huge fan of that gentleman, the actor. He also did Bates Motel. Wow, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think of his name.
But yeah, he's plays an autistic doctor in The Good Doctor, and man, the dude slays it. Awesome show. So yeah, it's cool things you guys go check out if you're ever bored, want something to watch. It's fun stuff. Hope you had a good time, man.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that was a good one. Talk about some fun topics this week. Definitely interesting. Going over PWCC and eBay and all the people that are in our realm and we interact with every week. It's definitely a big part of what we do and many of what you guys listening at home do. So it's important to stay on top of that stuff. So I'm glad you guys are tuning in, listening to us talk about it and bring you that information and keep you up to speed and give us our thoughts, opinions, and spicy topics. So thanks, everyone. Hope you have a lovely week. Thanks for listening. And again, don't forget your spicy topic below. We love them. We'll be reviewing them in another show soon. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Peace. Hit the like button so we can figure out where he was a chef. Don't forget.
See ya.